Immigration issue plays out here in Erie County, with asylum seekers potentially moving here from New York City as soon as next week. There are still many issues that need to be resolved and plenty of planning to be worked out.
Channel 2's Ron Plants heard more from some of those involved today. Ron, what'd you find out?
Scott, Erie County Executive Poloncarz, of course, telling the media yesterday that Buffalo's past reputation as a successful, receptive community for refugees means we can handle this situation, which she maintains is not a disaster, as some other regional county leaders have declared. But technically, some of these individuals housed in New York City are in a much different category than refugees, who are granted that specific status through the U.S. State Department with federal government funding support. In this case, many of the people who crossed the southern border and are now in New York City have so far just requested asylum, with vetting through the Federal Customs and Border Protection, and their status must be confirmed eventually by a U.S. immigration court judge. That process sometimes taking years to resolve. While those in New York City do have city and state funding, which according to the county executive would carry here so they could stay at Buffalo State College dorms or other locations, there's much more planning and some funding uncertainty that needs to be worked out.
The one thing that has been assured me is this would be paid for by New York State. If it's New York State, and New York City would pay for the costs associated with lodging, food, and other supportive services. They actually have a huge program that they've established in New York City alone that they would expand up here.
Once that funding is allocated and there are contracts and things signed, there could be more information. That is not the case right now. None of the organizations locally have received that funding, and there is no confirmation of that. So we can't comment on what the government may or may not be allocating at this moment.
Last lady there, Megan, is with the Immigration Coalition. While the state did provide New York City with $1 billion for immigration aid in the recent state budget, New York Mayor Eric Adams says the cost there might run over $4 billion. Well, there was planning and anticipation that some individuals will be coming here. Apparently, much more is going to happen behind the scenes to actually make all this work, hopefully without the funding and staffing crisis we've seen at the border and in New York City. Ron Plants, Channel 2 News.